Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is working. What? Wow, I am peaking all the way. Peaking. When you say the P word, it's automatically jumps to peaking. Or the B word, actually. The V, I suppose. Okay. We are live. Don't do that stupid OBS. Yes, we are back. Because I just saw this as soon as I was... It's amazing. As soon as I was going to go back to bed, this bloody thing happened in the sky. Okay, so what's going to happen is the launch of the Artemis 1. Hopefully, keep an eye out on this thing. So what's going to happen is the launch of the Artemis 1, and we are going to watch it together. Record it on my own channel here. Yes indeed. And I'm also going to be doing a step off level 1 with not like battle type thing. Drop. There it is. And then drop right here. I'm going to pull up chat in just a moment. Oh, it doesn't let me do that. Okay. That, and then okay. Twitter. Let's see about Twitter. Please keep me signed in. The clock is at 1, at 10. So basically it's gonna at T minus 10. They blocked it at 10 because they're still working on Ethernet thing. Launch Artemis 1. Hopefully this will be the start of space colony and the event actually Mars. Join up. Hashtag Artemis. Hashtag Artemis 1. Hashtag NASA. Yes. Hashtag Moon Colony. Is that a hashtag? Moon colonization? I think that's too long of that. Moon. I'm just gonna put first level tweet. Okay. Now to pull up chat. that down. Right. Okay. Alright. And just to show you know, yes, I am level 1. I am level 1. What was it? What? Oh, okay. It's just okay. It's just other mouse. I'll bring that down. Okay. Back to OBS before it messes up on me. That'll work. I'm gonna turn this down from my headphones. I'm gonna go left. Okay.
What is Cloud doing?
So.
Beats me.
Show me your strength. That's enough.
No, yeah. Step wrong.
Back off! Take this! Back off! Yeah! Back off! Yeah! Take this! Yeah! Back off!
Yeah.
Look at my health. That is that is good. As good as it gets on level 1.
Back off!
But now I'm just trying to do things
This is it.
Until like 5th bar, basically. It is possible to whip him. He wants to retaliate with another move, but he can't.
Show me your strength.
Regular combos.
That's enough.
Yeah, back off! Back off! This is it! Take this!
What happened there? Okay.
Show me your strength. That's enough.
Back off! Yeah! Take this! Back off! Yeah! This is it! Yeah! This is it! Yeah! Take this! Take this! Yeah! Yeah! It's over! Back off! Yeah! Yeah! It's over! Yeah! Back off! Yeah! Yeah! Back off!
Yeah.
Yeah!
No
Yeah.
place. Give in to the dark.
Oh boy, that was a quick. That would have been the swiftest reflect and then guard. Yeah, that doesn't happen. The animation lasts way too long.
Show me your strength. That's
Ooh, hey man. I didn't realize I didn't have the audio.
enough.
And that's of course. Well, I hope I don't get copyright for the song here. We're just going back and forth. Is this pre-recorded content? I swear it's pre-recorded content. Down some steps. Okay. And the clock is still right at 10. So I hear that they're going to start the launch window right at 104 this Eastern Standard Time. Okay.
Show me your
And
strength.
they'll go from that
That's enough.
2 hours.
Take this! It's over! Yeah, take this! This is it! Yeah, it's over! Yeah, this is it!
I want that.
Yeah, take this! Take this! It's over! Okay. Yeah,
And then
take this!
Know your place.
This is it!
it can be very, very dangerous. Especially
Yeah, yeah, take this! Yeah, take this!
Give in to the dark.
Yeah, take this! Yeah, this is it! Yeah, take this! Yeah, take this!
Give in to the dark. That's enough.
This is it! Take this! Back off! It's over! Back off! Yeah, this is it! Take this! Yeah, it's over!
Perish now. Descend. Heartless. All shall be one with me. Give in to the dark.
There! Yeah! It's over! Yeah, back off! Take this! Yeah, it's over! Take this! There!
Perish now. Give in to the dark. Give in to the dark.
Of course he was going to do that. That is such a long, ridiculous animation when it came to reflecting. That there is nothing like it. Nothing, absolutely nothing like it. So any updates, any Chat. This is not slow mo. This is on mobile it is, but this is not slow mo. This has to be the most lagging chat I've ever seen for slow mo. Anything else? Oh. Oh. Okay, it's almost send this now. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Back here. Look. It's very. I'm here's hoping that the launch actually goes the way it
Show
should.
me
The
your
clock stay
strength.
on 10.
That's enough.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, no, just press square.
Huh. Huh.
Show me your strength. That's enough.
It's over. Yeah, back off. Take this.
Almost.
Back off. It's over. Take this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take this. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Take this.
Health potion.
Yeah. This is it. Yeah. Back off. Yeah. It's over. Yeah.
Pressing square is the only way that I can survive.
Back off. Take this.
Give in to the dark.
I really do have to be careful now. I really do. He could legit just bait it.
People who were actually able to come here to Florida. There's many
People
people
all
who are
along
joining us from
the.
around the world who couldn't obviously make the trip out here. So let's take a look at some of those watch parties there. Here's Space Center Houston. It's the visitor
I would
center
love to be
over
part of this
for
watch party.
Johnson Space Center
Absolutely
in
love to.
Houston. And you can see a lot of people there after hours because you know that visitor center is closed right now. People are waving. I love it. Wow, look at that. Whatever that is.
That's
It's
awesome.
amazing.
I don't think I've ever noticed that when I'm at Space Center Houston. Maybe it's new.
I know, but yeah, just look at that crowd. It's really fun to see again all these people who are captivated, young and old, by today's launch attempt and the beginning of the Artemis program. I know that they're probably looking at the clock and wondering when we might see the launch today. So
But God is
great to see
focused.
all those people.
getting out of focus here. By the way, this was supposed to have launched already in like September. Tail end of September, I remember. Or was it early September?
This incredible launch this evening.
I love that. They totally
So this is like the fourth or
they're
fifth.
embracing it. I love it. And yeah, this is the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. This is the Visitor Center over
Yeah.
in Huntsville,
Why?
Alabama. As I've said
OBS.
before, Marshall Space Flight Center there is super instrumental in what the Artemis program is doing.
Okay, so they're either going to continue the clock right at 10, or rather right at 104. Probably not.
Yeah, back off! Back off! Take this! Ha.
Oh, launch team. Ah. So, new T minus time. That'll be entirely. Hey, let me turn this down. Where's my mouse? Right. So, that'll entirely depend on how long it takes just to fix the. If you didn't say Ethernet, he meant. I think it was something else.
What is Cloud doing? Show me your strength. That's enough.
But we're still on that one.
Yeah, it's over. This is it. Yeah. Back off. Yeah, take this. Yeah. This is it. Yeah. This is it. It's over. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. It's over. It's over. Yeah. This is it. Back off. Yeah.
Give in to the dark.
It's over. Yeah. Back off. Back off. Back off. Yeah. This is it.
Perish now.
I cannot be caught in that. I really cannot be caught in that. I can't be caught in it because that is one hit kill. Absolutely one hit. Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is Cloud doing?
Da-da-da.
Beats me.
By the way, you three, who are you? Show me your strength. That's enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Take this. It's over. Yeah. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. It's over.
Just
It's over. Back off. This is it. Yeah. Take this. Yeah. It's over.
mostly
Yeah.
teleport outside.
Take this.
But
It's over. Back off. Yeah, this is it. Take this.
Perish now.
no.
Give in to the dark.
Yeah.
Give in to the dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Back off. Yeah. Yeah. Take this. Yeah. 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 This is it. This is it. Yeah. Back off. It's over.
You lose that.
It's over. Yeah. It's over. Yeah.
Hey, what?
It's over.
I thought it mattered.
Take this. Yeah, back off.
shall be one with me, given their darkness.
Caught. I was caught with the bloody thing.
History books, that'll be something you're remembered for. Oh my gosh, I'd be so anxious delivering it even after I've thought of what I want to say, like to actually open my mouth and say
But
it
I'm
perfectly.
still trying to figure out this
That little
audio thing. Why isn't it?
Okay, let's see another question here.
I can't add on to it. Okay, hang on.
In color.
I don't know if it's playing the audio for.
I'm gonna have to take a phone a friend on that one, I think, to know the real.
Da 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 da. No. Got it. Fine. Okay. Hide that one. Trash that one. Da, da, da. Remove. Nope. Why isn't it capturing it?
Orbit the moon and then go into a distant retrograde orbit. And so it'll get really close as 62 miles, and then go way past the moon, and way deeper into space than we've ever been before. So, yeah, the Orion vehicle will be checking out all of its systems. We're going to be analyzing that data from the ground, and then we're going to see that it can survive re-entry and a successful splashdown off the coast of San Diego.
Yeah, that was a good question too. Okay, well, again, just keep those questions coming. You know, we are entering into this
So
launch
I'm gonna
window,
try
and
output
we do have time,
30.
so we'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to try at least to answer most of your questions. So you've been hearing throughout the broadcast all the different science that returning to the moon will enable us to do. So there's actually something called the Prime 1 mining experiment, and that's going to robotically look for ice and other resources below the lunar surface.
NASA's first Polar Resources Ice Mining Experiment, also known as Prime 1, will robotically look for ice and other resources below the lunar surface. Thanks to data from spacecraft orbiting the moon, scientists believe that the polar regions contain water ice in the form of ice just below the surface. With the right technologies, that ice is a game-changing resource that can be mined and used to produce propellant and breathable oxygen for future explorers.
And then once I turn
Under NASA's Commercial Lunar
down
Payload Services Initiative, the agency selected
and
intuitive
go back up.
machines to fly and land Prime 1
Okay, yeah,
on the
there it
moon's
is.
South Pole.
Somewhat still here,
Prime
but
1 will land
okay, guys.
crater to
Pretty loud. I don't know why OBS does that. Why does it make audio so difficult just to read sometimes? I have no idea why. But anyway. updates
What is Cloud doing?
as at the moment.
Show me your strength. That's enough.
Back off! Back off! This is it! It's over! Back off! This is it! Back off! Take this! Yeah! It's over! This is it! Yeah! This is it!
Know your place.
Take this!
Give in to the dark.
I meant to hit the I meant to hit reflect. Not the
Show me your strength. That's enough.
Back off! Yeah, back off! It's over! Take this! Take this! Yeah! This is it! Back off! This is it!
I pressed square.
Yeah!
What is Cloud doing?
Beats me.
By the way, show me your strength. That's enough.
It's over! Yeah! Yeah! It's over! Yeah! Take this! Yeah! This is it! Yeah! This is it! It's over! Yeah! This is it! Take this! Yeah, it's over! Back off! It's over! Yeah! This is it!
That's enough. Know your
It's over!
place.
Yeah! Take this! Yeah! Okay! Yeah! Back off! Take this!
Perish now.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I really have to be careful of that. Even if I'm unsure of it, there's like a split second the time in which I can escape because he has that like gravity effect into it. Like I can't. jump any higher or further away or be faster than I normally should be able to. Ugh. 114. No update. Err. Err.
known as distant retrograde orbit, or DRO, and that's this dotted line that you see around here. Now we call it distant basically because of the distance.
Yep. Artemis 1. Go all the way up to the moon. I think it's supposed to, it does have a patch, a system, or rather a tiny satellite that's going to dispatch from it and is going to survey the area for ice particles around it. So of course it is going to have a payload, yeah, just like that one. And then Orion is going to launch out. Artemis is going to land, make that circle back from the moon to the Earth. It's like a speed, whatnot.
Trajectory, which she did on some of the Apollo missions. Well, in DRO, it's a very stable orbit. It doesn't require a lot of fuel to maintain that area around the moon, so it gives you a lot of time to really test the spacecraft. If you followed with any launch of a new spacecraft, you know there's only so much testing you can do on the ground. Once you actually put all of that hardware in space, in the environment that it's going to be operating, hundreds of thousands of miles away from Earth, you're going to learn things you didn't even realize about everything from communications, the life support systems, the thermal control. Everything on a spacecraft needs to get put through its paces in this environment before we put people on board, and that's why we're heading out to DRO. Eventually, though, it's going to be time to come home, and we will do a DRO departure maneuver. This, again, firing up that orbital maneuvering system engine and others on the service module, and this is what's going to commit us from leaving the moon and heading on back towards Earth. We'll dip in once more, close off the lunar surface, slingshot and use the lunar gravity to do this return-powered flyby, and then, similar to the way out, we can make correction burns as we kind of fine-tune our path back towards the Earth. And then it's time for re-entry. A couple of things happen before that. One of the really critical ones, spacecraft separation. We're going to detach the European service module shortly before
Enough of this. I failed. Yet again. Failed.
Take that! This is it! Yeah! Take this! Take that! Yeah, just back off! Yeah! Back off! Take this! Take
But there was the counter again.
We are going.
Oh, it's okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, take that! Huh. It's over! Huh. Yeah, take this! Yeah. Take that! Yeah! This is it! Take that! Back off! Yeah! Back off! Take that! Yeah!
I was trying to dodge roll.
Yeah, take that! Take this! Yeah! Yeah, take this! Yeah! This is it! Yeah! Give me strength! Yeah! Take this! Come on! Back off! Yeah! This is it!
Those demons, they disappear. And there's just no other way. Reflect, maybe? But that's way too long of a animation.
Take that! This is it! Take this! Take that! Yeah! Take this! Yeah!
Oh wait.
Where's the fun in this? Come on! Come on! Come on! We stop it!
Yeah!
It'll be so much better if I were just to loop him because
Gather!
They
I know, clapping.
anticipated the delay. They look pumped and ready to go.
So these are employees of Airbus. Airbus is the main contractor for the European Space Agency, and together they provided the European Service Module for the Orion spacecraft. So really, we should be applauding them. They shouldn't be applauding. Thank you so much, guys, for your contribution to the program, and can't wait to see Orion and SLS launch. Okay, so now let's head back over to Daryl Nail over with the launch team so we can hear any updates about a new T0.
oh,
Yeah, Megan, thank you. And a clearer picture is starting to emerge as the launch team now reports out that they only have a few minutes left of work to do before they're ready to pick up polling. And we're also hearing that some of that polling, which kicks off with the mission management team, is also now just about 3.5 minutes away. Now, we are currently still in that hold, but the launch team, NASA's test director, is continuing to move the team forward.
Could I have chat on the
We've
side?
wrapped up work uh, on the upper stage and the lower stage. You're looking now live inside Firing Room 1,
I can't.
where Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson is overseeing her launch team. We've had a number of delays that have put us off the T0, but we are starting to track to a T0 close to around a quarter till, top of the hour. But we do need to have some polling that takes place. I'm pausing now because I'm listening in to the teams as they communicate. In this launch window, which we're currently 26 minutes into, and it's 2 hours long, it runs until 3:04 a.m. Eastern Time. We have what's called 40 cutouts. And in those cutouts, they range from about a second to about a minute. These are times where they can't launch. These cutouts must be accounted for when determining a new T0. The upper stage of the rocket, which was the last to get ready and configured, just recently the team cycled the liquid hydrogen valves, which is required, and they are currently working on the LO2 valves, liquid oxygen valves in the upper stage. That work is almost done. We are now a minute and a half away from the poll of the mission management team, which is several minutes before T minus 15 minutes. When that poll starts, we'll get a clearer picture of our T0.
Please, please, please be within exactly what he said. Please. Alright. So excited. Can't wait.
NASA's test director has informed the launch team to all switch to a common communication channel. It's called 232. And what this means is that the entire launch team is now on one channel, and all future communication will happen there, whereas there are many channels.
Literally anything can happen
Now
at this
they
moment.
reduce it down to one.
Gosh, so excited. Ah.
Just heard from NASA test director Carlos Monge. I'm sorry, Jeff Spalding. Jeff Spalding's on. They swapped out. There are currently no constraints to launch. Great news. Again, no constraints to launch. And they're getting ready to pick up with a poll to determine readiness for launch.
It's now or never. 1:34 a.m. here on the North Carolina East Coast here. I think they're going to launch like well before 3:30. So about it, the sounds of it. Honestly, I'm really really excited. Simply, they solved the issue. They solved the uh leak the leaking problems way earlier. They solved the Ethernet problems much quicker. The original set was going to be 2 hours. It ended up being like within 20 or 30 minutes.
Okay, NASA test director Jeff Spalding getting ready to conduct the readiness poll So we are getting close. We're going to pull up the audio now
Okay,
so that you can listen in.
I'm going to go ahead and increase
Go.
this
And
audio as
rock.
well.
Rockets go. All right, copy all. And Launch Director NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
I copy all NTD. At this time, I will proceed with my poll.
Arr.
And attention on 232, this is the launch director performing the final poll for launch. Verify no constraints and go for launch. EGS Program Chief Engineer.
EGS Program Chief Engineer verifies that the EGS, SLS, and Orion Program Chief Engineers have no constraints and are go for launch.
Copy, Greg. Thank you. EGS Chief Safety Officer.
The EGS
Look at
CSO
that monitor.
the SLS Orion and EGS CSOs have no constraints and are go for launch.
That's definitely ultra wide.
Copy, John.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
god.
Range weather.
Weather has no
Asus.
constraints and weather is go for launch.
Copy LWO and Mission Manager. And Mission Manager, Launch Director.
Launch Director, Mission Manager on 232. The mission management team has been polled. You have a go to proceed with terminal count and launch of Artemis 1.
I copy all. Thank you. And NTD, Launch Director.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Yes, sir. On behalf of all the men and women across our great nation who have worked to bring this hardware together to make this day possible, and for the Artemis generation, this is for you. At this time, I give you a go to resume count and launch Artemis 1.
Copy, Launch Director, and thank you. All right, we do have a couple of steps to configure, and then we will be ready to resume the clock. CVSE, NTD.
CVSC here.
Initiate recording of Orion cameras at this time.
In work.
NTD.
RSR here.
Perform the booster ignition SNA arm rotation enable.
NDT, RSR, booster ignition SNA arm and rotation enable is complete.
And I copy. Thank you.
Okay, so there you heard the poll from Launch Director.
Early.
Getting ready to get that new T0 time. The poll that you heard was the NASA Test Director's poll. And
all right, and we have verified no cutouts at this time. And all personnel, we are going to resume the clock. GLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
GLS copies. Countdown clock will resume on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. GLS mainline has been initiated.
okay,
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
we are T-minus 10 minutes away from liftoff of Artemis 1. As you can see,
Why
the
do you
clock
say
is now
36?
moving. Let's put that up. T-minus 9 minutes and 47 seconds. The L-minus 15 poll complete.
Show
It went
06:47:44 is the new liftoff time.
Affirm.
Okay.
Oh 01:47:44, 1:47 a.m. Eastern Time, and 44 seconds.
I told you it was going to launch well before 3:30.
We went straight into terminal count.
I'm so glad I stayed up late. I'm supposed to be traveling tomorrow, but oh my goodness.
Liftoff now 9 minutes away.
9 minutes.
So terminal count. Control has been given over to the GLS, the ground launch sequencer, a computer and software that is doing all of the commanding and monitoring of the Space Launch System. We'll hear call-outs from the GLS operator, Alex Pandalos. As well as NASA
do you
Test
hear that?
Director Jeff Spaulding.
Do you hear that?
GLS
That's
is pre-tensioning the umbilicals at this very moment. You can see them as they run down the rocket. That's getting them ready to detach. At liftoff, those arms will swing away, will let go of the rocket in a clockwise direction. T-minus 8 minutes and counting. The GLS is performing up to 100 commands per second.
Oh man, I
including configuring ground systems for power transfer to the rocket. GLS is turning on cameras, recording video inside and outside the crew module to collect data for engineers.
Come on, come on. Nothing else can happen right now.
Booster with high flow nitrogen. Clear out any hydrogen gas that may be there.
Just to think that in less than 8 minutes, the start of actually.
You can see the crew access arm is already retracted.
Getting back to the moon.
Artemis 2.
Officially starting.
6 minutes. But out of abundance of caution, they went ahead and retracted the arm well ahead of liftoff.
Getting back to the moon. Just
want to point your attention to the base of the mobile
colonize
launcher.
it.
Something wasn't done to reduce the power from the pressure caused by the rocket's ignition and thunderous sound. It could damage the rocket. So the ignition overpressure and sound suppression system will flood the mobile launcher with water. You'll see that sequence start at T-minus 17 seconds. Now coming up in less than 30 seconds, the ground launch sequencer will start bringing the high energy systems online, starting with core stage pressurization.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Calm down. Oh my god. I don't even care about the game anymore. I just want to.
Firing Room 1 is completely silent as they listen for the next call.
GLS is go for core stage tank pressurization.
It's a go.
The core stage tank is now pressurizing to flight levels. The replenish valve to the liquid hydrogen tank now closing. The liquid oxygen tank will come a little later. Now we're arming the Orion ascent pyros and transfer to internal power. The launch abort system, or LAS jettison motor, is now armed. On this flight, the abort motor is inactive because there is no crew on board. Up next is the flight termination system, or FTS, which gives the Space Force the ability to destruct the rocket if it goes in the wrong direction. Let's listen in for that.
GLS is go for FTS arm.
The flight termination system is now armed. Coming up at 4 minutes and 40 seconds, a big moment. This is where the RS-25 engines and their bleed go to high flow. It's been a little tricky to dial in.
GLS is go for LH2 high flow bleed check.
Good work, we've passed that. The cryo team got the LH2 engine bleed pressure loop dialed in.
Come on,
They are now at the right temperature for launch. Countdown continues. T-minus 4 minutes, 15 seconds. Up next, GLS fires up the KPUs. Those are high-speed turbines which provide pressure to hydraulic pumps that steer the RS-25s. Stands for Core Stage Auxiliary Power Unit Start.
GLS is go for core stage APU start.
That now leads to the thrust vector control test at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That can proceed now, and we will see the engine's gimbal at the bottom of the core stage.
T-minus 4. Oh my god. It's happening. It's happening.
At T-minus 3 minutes and 10 seconds, you will hear the go for purge sequence 4. That's a helium purge of The 4 core stage engines downstream of the propellant valve, getting the air and moisture out.
Depressurizing.
GLS is go for prep sequence 4.
And in just a few seconds, GLS will close the core stage LOX vent, liquid oxygen. The white vapor cloud caused from the super cold gaseous oxygen condensing the water in the atmosphere will disappear. You see it coming out there now. And there it goes. It's closed.
T-3.
LOX vent closed. Pressure rising in the core stage LOX tank to flight levels. Coming up in 15 seconds, look for that thrust vector control actuator test. Engines will gimbal. And there they go. The 4 core stage RS-25 engines gimbaling around, testing the ability to steer the rocket into space. They will operate at 109% performance.
Look at they move.
Each RS-25 throwing down 500,000 pounds of thrust. All 4, 2 million pounds. All together with the boosters, 8.8 million pounds of thrust.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Now the upper stage has gone to internal power. So power is removed from the rocket's upper stage,
Oh
the ICPS,
my
and it's been switched to battery power.
This is
The
4K,
same
by the
milestone
way.
is coming up for the core stage at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds.
GLS is go for core stage to internal power.
The rocket's core stage, which houses the 3 flight computers, is now on battery power. So there is no more hold time available because there's no more margin on the batteries. So if we have a hold, we'd have to recycle back to T-minus 10 minutes and recharge those batteries. The count continues. A note now, shortly after liftoff.
1 minute.
Shortly after liftoff, Mission Control Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague, Leah Cheshire, will take over commentary. T-minus 50 seconds and counting. Coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, the GLS will hand off control to the ALS. This is the autonomous launch sequencer. On board the rocket, it will take over command and control of the rocket. But the ALS will check, make sure there's no holds coming from the ground up until T-minus 2 seconds.
GLS is go for ALS.
And we are go for ALS. The Space Launch System is now counting down to liftoff of Orion on its maiden voyage to the moon.
How about the cry?
Launch team can no longer recycle the count. Sound suppressor water now flowing
15.
under the ML. And here we go.
Engines!
10.
Hydrogen burn-off igniters initiated. 7, 6, 5.
Come on!
Core stage engine start. 3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition.
Yeah!
Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
Oh my god. Look at it go!
4 RS-25 engines on the core stage and 2 solid rocket boosters now propelling the vehicle at 128 miles per hour. Hearing good control on the roll from teams in Mission Control Houston. All good calls so far. Now 30 seconds into the flight of Artemis 1. First milestone will be for the vehicle to pass through max Q at about 1 minute and 9 seconds into launch. This is the greatest period of atmospheric force on the rocket.
And then, once it gets all the way up there,
SLS
past
now traveling
supersonic.
607 miles per hour.
The engine's working perfectly as it should.
You're looking at 8.8 million pounds of maximum thrust. Quiet here in the loops of Mission Control. The 4 core stage engines throttling down ahead of passing through max Q. Now 1 minute, 21 seconds into the flight, traveling at 1,420 miles per hour. The 4 core stage engines are back at maximum thrust. major milestone will be for the solid rocket boosters to cut off and jettison at about 2 minutes and 11 seconds into the flight, so about 30 seconds from now. Again, quiet here in Mission Control Houston as teams continue monitoring the flight of Artemis 1. We're now 16 miles downrange from the launch pad at Kennedy Space Center, traveling over 2,800 miles per hour. Standing by for solid rocket booster jettison and shortly thereafter.
It's no sound. And sound cuts off from there.
Confirmation that the solid rocket boosters have separated. These 177-foot boosters. Now the core stage continues to power the flight of Orion, all four RS-25 engines firing, traveling over 3,400 miles per hour, 46 miles downrange. 2 minutes and 36 seconds into the flight. Hearing nominal calls here in Mission Control Houston. We've still got 4 good engines on the core stage. Next up, we'll be looking for the service module fairing to separate. This is 3 15 by 15-foot fairing panels, providing structural support, protecting the service module. Those will separate at about 3 minutes and 11 seconds into flight, and very shortly thereafter will be followed by the launch abort system separation. Just over 3 minutes into the flight of Artemis 1, now traveling over 4,060 miles per hour, 83 miles downrange. We just had confirmation that the service module fairing has separated. And that the launch abort system pyros have fired, separating those from Orion as well. For future crew members.
Hello? Audio? Lady? Look at it. Look at it. There's the moon. There's
We just
Artemis.
heard the call for 3-engine press, meaning if SLS were to lose an engine at this point in the mission, we could still achieve a nominal mission. We would just have an extended main engine cutoff time. However, we still have 4 good engines, all at maximum thrust right now, powering the first flight of Artemis at 5,200 miles per hour, 148 miles downrange.
T plus 4 minutes.
We're 4 minutes and 16 seconds into the flight of Artemis 1. So far, we've had a clean ascent. We saw those solid rocket boosters jettison about 2 minutes and 11 seconds
Absolutely
after liftoff.
gorgeous.
Shortly after, we had the service module panels fairings separate, as well as the launch abort system. The launch abort system was inert for this flight, except to perform this separation. Those 4 core stage engines will continue to fire and power the flight of Artemis 1, now traveling over 6,800 miles per hour, 229 miles downrange. Booster flight controller reports that the engines are looking good.
It's amazing. Just like a couple of months ago, how many setbacks they
Our core
had.
stage main engine cutoff time is about 8 minutes and 3 seconds. We are now at 5 minutes and 11 seconds into the flight, 7,656 miles per hour. Again, 4 good core stage engines, those 4 RS-25 engines. The last time those core stage engines flew, they were taking space shuttles to orbit, and now with upgraded capabilities, they're launching the future of human spaceflight. Five minutes, 42 seconds into the mission, we are now traveling 8,800 miles per hour, 345 miles downrange from the launch pad at Kennedy Space Center.
6 minutes.
Again, we are anticipating core stage main engine cutoff at about 8 minutes and 3 seconds.
Oh,
and about 10 seconds later, we'll see core stage separation, at which point Orion and the interim cryogenic propulsion stage will be flying free. Now traveling over 10,000 miles per hour, 6 minutes and 15 seconds into the flight of Artemis 1, 427 miles downrange. Quiet here on the loops in Mission Control Houston. Teams continue to monitor this first flight.
I don't think they have any cameras on board at the moment, or they're turned on, probably due to the amount of pressure and
About a minute and a half now until that core stage main engine cutoff time. Our 4 core
G-forces.
stage engines continue to fire maximum thrust.
Oh my goodness. 7 minutes in to launch. I cannot believe
Coming
7
up on
minutes
7
ago.
minutes since launch today, now traveling over 12,800 miles per hour, 563 miles downrange. Again, still quiet here in Mission Control, Houston.
It is now getting ready to move around in orbit, position itself in orbit, and then
As we prepare for main engine cutoff, the 4 RS-25 engines are beginning to throttle down.
yeah, they'll be turned off so that they can dispatch properly.
"30 seconds now until core stage main engine cutoff. All 4 engines continue to throttle down. Now 7 minutes 45 seconds into the flight, traveling over 16,000 miles per hour. Continuing to hear good calls here in Mission Control, Houston. We're standing by for core stage main engine cutoff. And we have confirmation of core stage main engine cutoff. Orion is now in Earth's orbit. The flight dynamics officer reports that we have a nominal main engine cutoff. And we just heard the call for core stage separation. That means Orion and the interim cryogenic propulsion stage are now flying free from the core stage of the Space Launch System. The next milestone will be solar array deploy approximately 18 minutes after liftoff. But before Orion stretches its wings, let's check back in with our friends at Kennedy Space Center and hear all about what it was like to hear the rocket roar off the launch pad. Megan and Kayla, I've got to hear all about it.
Finally.
Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to NASA's Kennedy Space Center, where we just watched Artemis 1 launch, our first step towards our next adventure into deep space. As Leah said, I'm NASA's Megan Cruz, and this is NASA astronaut Kayla Barron. And I'm kind of still giddy and speechless. I don't even know how to explain how I'm feeling right now.
I feel the same way. This is the first launch that I've been able to watch in person. And I've got to say, it was incredible. It took my breath away and I was tearing up. Just what an amazing accomplishment for this team, this international team, people who have been dedicating their careers to getting this rocket off the ground and taking the first step to getting a crew on that vehicle back to the moon. It was just incredible.
Yeah, this is a moment I think that we're all going to remember
So,
where we were when
18 minutes until it officially spreads its wings and starts to officially orbit the. Oh my god.
And it just shook everything around. Did you feel that? Like in my bones.
I have to be down in Florida for Artemis too. I really do. By the way, what is it? What is the temperature down there?
The ground shook. We could hear the thrust pushing that rocket into space. 8.8 million pounds of thrust.
Yeah.
73 degrees. That's perfect. 70.
How does it compare? So this
Cape
is your
Town,
first launch
Cape
on the
Coral,
ground. How does it compare to your launch when you're in the capsule soaring
Cape
through
Canaveral.
space?
I mean,
73 still.
equally emotional, I think. We train for everything, and so when we're in that capsule waiting for launch, we're just
And it's just about 30 something up here.
Trick us and say that we're in the simulator and it wasn't real. But like in that moment of liftoff, when the thrust builds underneath you, like we saw it today.
Oh my goodness, that was incredible. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's 2 a.m. over here. It's pretty late. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for stopping by. Watch this momentous occasion. Oh my goodness, I have my doubts. Of course, yes. But now it officially launched, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a nap or a rest because I have to be elsewhere tomorrow morning. So, I'll see you guys later.